Hey, what's up? This is Los Angeles Chronicles, episode 25. It's October 6th, 2024. We are recording live, broadcasting in my room in Rosemead, California. This is your host, Malcolm Tyler, coming to you live in Rosemead. Yeah, so it's been a while since, first and foremost, the last episode 24 got erased. It was recorded in outside by a lake in Castaic, California, which is past the Six Flags Magic Mountain or something. And so it got erased, and which is I was really bummed out about that. So I've had some bad luck in the past month, and it's been really weird. So it was episode 24, and it was with a female film director, and shout out to her. It was a film, you can actually see it online on YouTube. It's called The Tree, and she was Iranian born, but went to art school and film school in a different country, and then she's been to LA before, but she was back here doing the film thing. So yeah, very interesting, and too bad it got erased. But episode 24 was had to do with the number 24, like her brother died or something. And also it's kind of like a bummer when stuff like that happens. I'm a big fan. If you know me, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. So Inspector Deck, his album was recorded and it got lost because of the flood in New York City in the 36 Chamber studio or whatever it was called. The album was lost, so it's like the lost album that everybody wanted to hear and nobody could hear it. So the Buddha heard it, so let's say that that's my lost episode right there, and then now we're going to go in episode 25, which this episode isn't like a real big deal. This is kind of me touching base with everybody and just kind of venting about what's been going on, and I got some plans for some guests coming up, but it was really weird for me because I switched jobs and left my job, which my job was like my life, it was like it was a beat down, but I got some kind of meaning out of it too, because I was, in the postal world, carrier and Amazon. So I went from that. I took a month off. I was kind of lazy compared to how I'm used to being, fast paced. So now I'm officially a Lyft driver in Los Angeles, which means that, going through the brutality of the traffic and going through different interesting pockets and places in LA, and it's already given me another aspect of LA. And of course, you meet interesting people, and you help people, and you don't make a lot of money, but it's take a sacrifice, and it is a sacrifice because you're doing your own thing, and you can work whenever you want. So a lot of people are aware of that. But I haven't figured out how to really make a lot of money at it so far. But it's enough to maybe let's say it's the same as my last job, and it's safer. So that's the important part. And I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm doing the podcast thing right now. So took the day off because it's Sunday. Went to the Buddhist temple and then came back and started selling some stuff on eBay. So I'm going to talk about my trip to Los Cabos, Cabos, Mexico. And people ask me if I had a good time. No, I did not have a good time, but it's a life experience. And I lost some money going there with the Costco travel. I didn't think it was worth it. I should have stayed home. So, let's back up a little bit. So after that episode got erased, it was like a technical thing. It recorded with no sound. So then I had to get a new machine, which doesn't cost a lot. This is some new gear. This is Mackie Pro FX 10V3 Tascam DP006. I'm used to the 8 model since 2012 when it came out. That broke some new ground, and I recorded web series and a hip hop album and my last podcast, and then this podcast too. So that piece of equipment is pretty big part of my life. So this is actually the down step of that one. It's more of the 4 channel. But you can record 6 channels on it. Anyway, it recorded with no sound, and man, I was pissed off because yeah, takes a long time to drive out there too. And then plus I was proud of the episode. And yeah, so that's what happened. So then you order a new machine and figure this out. And what else? Had some car trouble. So my first day I tried to start Lyft. My car broke down and my phone had some phone issues too. So what happened was I had to get my car towed from Burbank to Rosemead. So then called AAA. It had to do with the hose coming apart from the coolant system, and then the engine light comes on. I mean the heat light comes on and you pull off the freeway, and I pulled into a parking lot and got towed. So they cover the first 7 miles, and then after that it's on you. So got that done, and then I paid the mechanic more than I thought I would pay. So it is what it is. And then it was, had to do with getting the new hoses and the fixing that up and getting an oil change, and then I was good to go. So then after that I went to get everything straight with the vacation to Los Cabos. So what happened? Missed my flight. So supposed to get to the airport 2 hours before, not 1 hour before. So even if I was good to go, they wouldn't even let me go. Like I was at the kiosk thing with the airport at 7 a.m. and then they leave at 8:30, and then they wouldn't even let me go get searched. So then they said I didn't lose any money, but I should come back the next day. So I was kind of like bummed out that day, and I just came home and watched movies and did the eBay thing, like when you post all those pictures on eBay, whatever. So then the next day I go and I take the shuttle, and I was good to go with the print out the boarding pass and get searched, and then sit down and wait and go to Mexico. So I don't even know why the hell I wanted to go there. It was more of like, I wanted to for the whole self-indulgence and go swimming and have a bitchin' time, but that's not what happened. And so then I get there, and the flight wasn't that bad, but then when you get to Mexico, you're encountered with a salesman that tries to sell you like horseback riding and what is it, snorkeling and stuff like that you don't even want. And then I gave him some pesos just so he'd leave me the fuck alone. And then after that I waited for there's a private bus, there's a private bus where you take with a bunch of people and you go to your destination, like your resort. So by the way, this is a Costco travel resort, a package, all inclusive kind of deal. So the bus is nice, and then I was sitting next to a couple. They looked like they didn't want to talk. They were talking amongst each other, but I was tripping out because like when they got to they're at a different hotel, and then the guy's girlfriend looks like a bitch, but then he's like, he takes a picture of her, and then she smiles just for the picture. And like, how fake is that, But that's how people want to be, man. So here we are, and it's like I don't even like I actually prefer Puerto Vallarta because that was a good vacation 2 years ago. Yeah, that's kind of like why I went there. So I'm just kind of venting right now. Some of the stuff's been going on. So get there, and it's more of like a desert. It's the Gulf of Mexico and whatever, and it's like kind of deserty, but you're at the beach too. So it was something new, but it was weird. And then the food wasn't good because it was like, if you get the all-inclusive deal, they just like they have to get so much food for everybody. And then I don't even drink, I don't party anyway, so like it didn't really make any sense. And then I actually like the food here better. So, and then I was stuck on that resort for like a good 3 days, and they give you this bracelet, and then you open up the hotel room with the bracelet, like you're in a mental institution or something. It beeps, and then I couldn't figure out how to take the bracelet off, so that place is like being in jail. Actually, I'd rather go to jail than go to that vacation again. At least in jail you have good stories and you meet some real people, and then plus if you go to jail, hopefully you do something cool that not cool, but you do whatever bad thing. Like I hope it was worth it for you to even go to jail, So like the only time I went to jail in my life was disorderly conduct, because I was a homecoming king in high school, and that should be like a different episode right there. So anyway, I was at the resort. It's called like La Fiesta Americana, and they were like the girls that were there. They were there with their husbands. You know, I'm not gonna bother them. But and then you get on. You start like, for me, I was installing these applications, this dating apps, and I couldn't even meet anybody really. But the one girl that I did meet, she was like a hoe, like a hooker. Her name's Sophia, and then like I'm talking to her back and forth, and she's cool, and then she ends up saying like, "Oh, my time is money, baby," and I'm like, "Well, how much is it to just come here and hang out with me and cuddle with me and watch TV and go to sleep? Like we're not going to do anything. I'm just come swimming with me, you know." So then she said it was $300 USD, American money. So I was like, "Well, how much can I get with like 45 pesos?" And then she laughed at me because I didn't want to pay for the Uber ride for her to even come over here. So the whole situation was stupid. And then I think I had a weird day from being on those dating things and then looking at girls all day. Get a damn migraine from doing that. So then I felt better the next day because I uninstalled the applications on the phone. So then what happened was yeah, I took some the pictures look good and everything, and you can send bitchin' pictures to people, but are you really having a good time? So I'm just being honest, like the sand is kind of weird up there, and the mosquitoes in your ear, and you're eating lunch and here comes the lizard right next to you, and then the birds eating right next to you. It's just kind of weird, you know. I mean, it's different, but nothing too crazy. It was just didn't have any really cool stories from the people there. I mean, I didn't really talk to anybody, and it was just a lot of Americans there. They're just on vacation, you know, and then they eat like 3 meals a day, and then I'm not used to that, and it's kind of like and then people partying in the swimming pools. The pools were nice, so then the people partying everything, and I was getting like a bad vibe from the whole deal, and then more of like a bad vibe from the hotel room too. But then the next day I woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and went swimming by myself, and that was nice right there. That was actually the best part. So it's more serene. You get the pool all to yourself. You don't have to deal with anybody. And then I went in the afternoon too. So, and then I got to catch up with some people and text some people too I haven't talked to in a while. And then what else? Listen to some music and read some my book and everything. The TV, they have a TV up there in the hotel room, and I watched a lot of random stuff. And then soccer's real big down there. They got like a new president or something. Her name's Claudia Shine something. And then they're talking about Diddy raped somebody over here. I always knew that guy was a rapist. Even in 1999 when we were punks, I was like, yeah, P. Diddy. I mean, that's when his name was Puff Daddy. And like me and all my friends, all of us hated that guy. Yeah, they even filmed about the Benjamins music video at Grant High School. I went to shout out to Grant High School, and I went there. But anyway, that guy was he was on the news, and they had like Dumb and Dumber in Spanish. So now I can say that I saw like Dumb and Dumber in South Korea and in Mexico, but they didn't have the subtitles on. But it was just a trip to see. I mean, there was like Mean Girls in Spanish, and then that was kind of a trip to watch some of that and some of the Simpsons. And the beach is beautiful over there. You can look out and see the water, and the water like keeps on going up to the like farther up to the sky, if that makes sense. So when you're on the West Coast and when you see the Pacific Ocean from, let's say, like a Long Beach or even Dana Point, I would say Dana Point is the nicest beach I've seen in California. But then the water like expands further out over there, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it's all experience. So like I learn more about myself. Like I don't like to just sit around not do anything. I'm a hyper person, so I say next vacation, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I did want to go back to New York. I talked to my uncle, and then he said, yeah, looking forward next time you go back to New York. We're actually going to Florida right now. So they were in Florida. And then what else is going on? Yeah, I called my mom. She's in South Carolina. They said something about a hurricane. There's a hurricane going on in North Carolina, and then that's affecting them. And then what else? I mean, there's a Guanyin going on in South Korea, and I don't know, maybe like some of this bad luck that's been happening to me, it has to do with the Guanyin or something, because that's when you get Me personally, I mean, we do cultivation with them. So then, if you have obstructions when like a big thing like that's going on, it means it's good because you're moving up and you're doing pretty good rather than being stagnant. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say about the trip to Los Cabos though. Like, yeah, I didn't really meet any good looking girls or anything. That was kind of, maybe it's because that was my stupid goal. I was like, I'm gonna go down there and I'm open minded to finding a wife, and then that's not gonna happen for me. So, yeah. But so the good news is I came back in one piece, and I was didn't get hurt or anything. Actually, the guy that drove the the shuttle or the what, it wasn't a bus on the way back. It was just me and him. And I told him the whole story, and he was dying off of that. I was like, man, that place is like jail with the bracelet and the way it's set up. And he was like, did you have a good time? I'm like, hell no, man, I'm fucking hate it here. So that was a trip, and then the flight back was pretty cool. I watched some more of that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with DiCaprio and Margot Robbie, and I've actually seen that film in the Tarantino's theater, but I missed the first part, so the first part's pretty good. So then I get back here, and actually I got back in my room, and the vibe in here is just incredible. Like this good energy, it's all cleaned out. Trying to get rid of some of the stuff I have on eBay, but it feels good even just to get rid of like some of the stuff that I sold, if that makes sense. So, and then I started at Lyft, like finally, actually, like I want to give like what's like a negative shout out to Uber, like big fuck off to Uber, because they won't even let me work. So I can't even sign into the application to do Uber Eats anymore or to be a driver because of the way their system's set up. So I think it's like some kind of robot in charge of the system. You can't even like, there's an option where you can call somebody and then they won't even let you call, and they put you around in a circle, So it doesn't even make sense. That's just the way it is. It's like some app, and then you can't even you can't sign on because of the uploading the documents, and it won't let you. Like I took a picture of my insurance information from my car and won't let me upload, and I did it like 20 times. So anyway, I started at Lyft, and then, I meet some interesting people here and there, and then I go like all over Los Angeles. So I already have some cool stories from that. Like, actually I picked up some Southerners from Alabama and took them all the way from like Burbank studio, like the studio tour, all the way to Venice Beach, because they never been to Venice Beach. So the thing that's a trip is like, they don't even know where they are because it's the first time they're there. So they're more patient than the average person, so, and the map actually took me to the back roads because you'd be in gridlock on that 405 freeway. So then I haven't even been to that west side part of the neighborhood in forever. So we get to that, like Culver City where my homie used to do tattoos, and then it was overcast over there, but then it's all sunny in the valley. And I forgot it was even like that. So it's pretty interesting how that is. And then we get there, and then I picked up some people after them. And I mean, it took a good hour just to get from point A to B with that. And then, I think I worked like, I was online with that application maybe 6 hours, but then I went offline to get back from Culver City back to Hollywood. And then I picked up some rich woman in Hollywood and took her to Beverly Hills Hotel. And then she got hurt, and she had like a relative with her to get her out of the car, and then do the best you can, and then after that picked up some guy, and he'd been drinking, and I took him back to Culver City, and he was actually pretty interesting for what the ride was. And then after that, from Culver City to South Los Angeles, and then that from Rosemead. So it was a long day yesterday, so I took the day off today. And then I'm gonna cut this episode shorter than the usual episode, just because it's been a good month, man. So I want to give a shout out to the people that are sticking with me, to the podcast and everything. The podcast is good so far, but it's been this has been like messed up my whole routine. This switching jobs, and it's not easy, but it's gonna be worth it. Worth it. I mean, I'm taking like my work ethic from like my last job to this job, taking it seriously, and maybe I'll even meet some people that want to be on the podcast. You never know, but like I go to work not to promote my stuff or to get guests, but got some plans for some guests. It didn't work out with the schedules with the last one. I mean, we had to wait like a couple weeks, so hopefully we do that pretty soon. And what else? Yeah, I'm just gonna cut it short right now. So feel better now that I got that out of my system. And music recommendations. I've been listening a lot of Cannibal Corpse, even though they're kind of one dimensional with their thing. Like every album gets more brutal than the last album. That's what they're about. But hey, they're good, So then, but I want to give a recommendation for Immolation, Unholy Cult 2002. I listened to that today, and I was not blown away, but I was it held my attention, and it was original. They have a lot of original guitar solos, and I think they're underrated. They're an underrated band. I've seen them live, and yeah, I would recommend that album. And then what else? Yeah, that's about it. So thank you everyone. This is episode 25, official episode, and thank you everyone.